the long and sometimes surprising history of Lionel's common two-bay hopper cars on this episode of Toy Train Tips and Tricks. And hello again, this is Mike. Do you ever go to a train show and on table after table, dealer after dealer, you see hopper cars, maybe like this one, and you look and say, oh, just another hopper car. But I think these cars deserve a lot more respect than we often give them. For example, did you know that this car is based on a real-world prototype and it is practically a scale model of that prototype? And did you know that Lionel produced cars very much like this one for almost 3/4 of a century? In the real world, hopper cars like this one were the backbone of America's manufacturing dominance in the 20th century, hauling load after load after load of coal to America's power plants, steel mills, and other factories. And on our layouts, who hasn't hauled army men, Legos, marbles, or any other non-train stuff just for fun? So I think these cars deserve a lot more appreciation and recognition than we're normally willing to give them. So let's dive into the history and see what we can find out. The Lionel 2-bay hopper is often dismissed as a generic O27 model. But did you know that it was based on a real-world prototype? In fact, it's a near-scale model of Lehigh Valley's HM-class 55-ton hopper cars. Other than the oversized trucks and couplers, the cars are only about a 1/4 inch too long for scale size, but that's pretty close by 3-rail standards. The real cars were originally built starting in 1916, but after the wear and tear of 2 world wars, the cars underwent a significant rebuild program beginning in 1946. And what number did the first of these rebuilt cars wear? Why, 25,000, of course. Just like the earliest Lionel number 2456 and 6456 cars. In fact, these early Lionel cars are lettered almost exactly after the prototype cars. The real Lehigh Valley HM-class cars were painted black or freight car brown, so Lionel's maroon color is a bit of a stretch, but the black cars are just fine. In the world of toy trains, Lionel has been producing hopper cars of one sort or another almost from the beginning of their toy train production, but these cars were generally made of either sheet metal or die-cast. It wasn't until after the Second World War that innovations in chemistry and injection molding technology made the production of large plastic bodies feasible. This process not only made production less expensive, but it also allowed for more detail to be cast into the car bodies, including rivets, ladders, and steps. And so, in 1948, Lionel began producing the first of its plastic-bodied hopper cars. When first introduced by Lionel in 1948, there were actually 2 different cars, the number 2456 for the O-gauge line, and the number 6456 for the cheaper O27 line. The 2456 had staple-end trucks with electromagnetic couplers, like all cars in the O-gauge line that year, while the 6456 had stable-end trucks and usually had the then-new magnetic couplers like most of the cars on the O27 line that year. However, there are some 6456 cars that were factory-equipped with electromagnetic coil couplers. These may have been very early production, before the magnetic couplers were ready, or it might have been late production trying to use up surplus coil couplers. The only other difference between the cars was the model number printed at the bottom of the third panel from the right of the car. Otherwise, the cars were both black with prototypical Lehigh Valley markings, including the road number 25,000, plus capacity, load limit, and cubic footage markings. They also sported metal steps on the corners and separately applied metal brake wheels. These cars also carried new 148 and built 148 markings. By the way, unlike more modern production, Lionel's post-war new dates usually designated the year when the car was first introduced, not the actual production date of that specific car. Many cars carried the built 148 markings well beyond 1948, as we shall see. The number 2456 was produced only in 1948, as magnetic couplers were added to more cars in the O-gauge line, including the hoppers, beginning in 1949. The 6456 carried on with a few changes through 1955. The black and white lettering and decoration continued on the cars through early 1951, when the color changed to maroon with white lettering. Lionel called it red, but all other decoration and details remained the same as in the 1948 cars, including the new 148 and built 148 markings. Sometime during Lionel's 1952 production, the 6456 underwent a few changes. First, the truck design switched from the staple-end variety to the new and improved bar-end type. Second, new tooling was introduced for the car, what is known to collectors as the Type 3 body style. The car's interior was redesigned to remove the center cylinder shape between the two bays. On the exterior of the car, a row of new rivet detailing was added to the bottom of the car between the two bays, one of the few examples of a later car having more detail than its predecessor. Otherwise, the markings and the maroon and white colors remained unchanged until 1954, when a few color variations joined the line. A gray number 6456 with maroon lettering appeared, along with a rare glossy red car with white lettering, another red car with yellow lettering, and an encore of the black and white color scheme. Adding to the confusion in that crazy year were some 6456 cars in the regular maroon or black that used surplus Type 1 bodies, and a few others that used up surplus staple-end trucks. Confusion reigned in Lionel's 1954 hopper car production. There were no changes in the two-bay hopper line for 1955, as Lionel instead focused on its new, larger four-bay hopper design, and so the reign of the number 6456 hopper came to an end. Or did it?
And I'd like to pause the video for just a moment and ask that if you're enjoying the video so far, please like it, share it, subscribe to the channel, just let YouTube know that you like this type of content. And you may even consider supporting the channel financially through a membership. Members have access to exclusive video content, early access to regular videos when possible, plus shout outs, special messages, special photos, and other special features. Just click on the membership button at the bottom of the video near the subscribe tab. And whether you are a member, a subscriber, a regular viewer, or just stopping by, thank you for watching the video and thank you for your support. Now, back to our video.
In 1957, the number 6476 two-bay hopper was born, and despite its higher number, the cheapening process had begun with these new cars. These cars featured a new Type 5 body style, with the trucks attached to the interior of the car with a metal tab and plate. This body type removed the add-on brake wheel. Most examples use plastic AAR-type trucks with disc-gun couplers, and they lack the corner steps. Color variations include red, black, or gray bodies with white lettering or black lettering, and this type remained in production through 1958. Beginning in 1959, the car number remained the same, but yet another body type was introduced, the Type 6. The AAR, or sometimes arch bar trucks on these models, were attached by simple tabs. Exterior changes included a new triangular gap near each bay and the removal of rivet details along the bottom of the body between the bays. These cars lacked steps and brake wheels, and 1963 versions have only a single operating coupler and one fixed coupler. Body colors range from coral pink to dark red. Production of these hoppers continued through 1963, then sporadically from 1964 through the end of post-war production in 1969. In 1961, the number 6476 was joined in the line by the budget-conscious number 6076. These cars all use Type 6 bodies and have one operating and one non-operating coupler, with either the plastic AAR trucks or the plastic arch bar trucks. Most came in gray and black or black and white, either with or without the new 1948 markings, but one variation came in plain gray plastic with no markings whatsoever. Another interesting variation is the gray Santa Fe version. Only available in the number 19263 Libby's promotional set of 1963, this is the only post-war two-bay hopper with markings that is not decorated for the Lehigh Valley. These number 6076 cars were used in various inexpensive and uncatalogued sets through 1965. 1964 saw the introduction of the number 6176 hopper. These cars were really not different from the 6076 cars in that they used Type 6 bodies, rode on either AAR or arch bar trucks, and may or may not include the new 148 markings. These cars could come with a single operating coupler or with non-operating dummy couplers at both ends. Colors ranged from gray to various shades of yellow with black lettering to unlettered yellow or olive drab versions. Yes, these hoppers had fallen a long way from their number 2456 cousins in terms of detail and quality. Still, they were scale dimension cars, and in the next phase of their development, they would regain some of their dignity. When General Mills took over Lionel Trains production in 1970 through their Fun Dimensions Model Products Corp division, they began where post-war Lionel left off, literally, with the number 6476-135 yellow Lehigh Valley hopper. This car is believed to have been made from leftover post-war bodies with new MPC-style trucks and couplers, filling in on early sets until new hopper versions could be produced. And it didn't take long for new hoppers to arrive in the new Lionel catalogs. Whereas post-war hoppers were almost exclusively limited to Lehigh Valley markings, Lionel MPC expanded the available road names to include Great Northern, Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia, Chuzzy System, Canadian National, Reading, Grand Trunk, DT&I, and more. No less than a dozen cataloged and uncatalogued versions, nearly all of them with at least one operating coupler, and all of them with the new, smoother running, if not aesthetically pleasing, Symington Wayne-style trucks. And they regained their brake wheels, sort of, with a new cast-in brake wheel appearing on these cars. And the legacy of these trusty hopper cars continued into the new millennium, with new road names and new variations appearing in the Lionel catalog as late as 2018. That's 70 years of production. And of course, I would be remiss if I did not mention Lionel's operating two-bay hoppers. The post-war number 3456 was decorated for the Norfolk and Western and was designed to operate with the number 456 coal ramp. The car features a plunger between the two bays that, when released, empties the contents of the car into a bin below. The original 3456 was cataloged from 1950 to 1955, with occasional reissues and new road names being released from the 1980s onward. In the real world, some of the Lehigh Valley Class HM hopper cars were listed in the Official Guide of Railway Equipment as late as 1974, with some no doubt surviving into the Conrail era. And that's a lot of coal hauling. So the next time you see one of these hopper cars at a show or online, give it some respect and consider picking up one, or two, or three for your collection. And most importantly, keep the trains running, and we'll catch you next time on Toy Train Tips and Tricks.